It is the year 2033 and most of Texas, including the town of Debbie and Carrie, is in the grip of a cold spell. But unknown to most of the people of the town, an even greater threat is about to hit it. For now, life goes on.
James, I am thinking we should leave the mansion and live instead in that house with my Uncle Wayne. Ever since grandmother died, he has been alone in that house, except for brief periods of me being there. I think he would be delighted to have us and our children, including our new daughter Susan.
You know he is my boss, right? That's awkward enough, but living with him would be even more problematic.
No less problematic than living in the same home as your mother and sister. I really want our own place, but that would be expensive. 2-bedroom apartments in most places cost over $1,000 a month in rent, and a proper house would cost far more. At least the house Uncle Wayne is in is totally paid for.
You are right. I just wish we had more money. I just found it so incredible that for so many years my Uncle Leonard and Cousin Ted had this massive home all to themselves and never wanted to share it with others, not even me and my parents. And now we finally know why. They were covering up the murder of Ted's own mother, no less.
It explains so many things about Ted's twisted character that always puzzled me before. Now we know for sure that he was brought up to be just the way he was. He was evil because his father was evil before him.
As the older son, Uncle Leonard was considered the heir to this property, originally built by my grandfather. Father Simon was a spare, so my grandfather spoiled Leonard and forced father to go out and make a living on his own. Which was the best thing for him, because he was able to prove himself capable of being independent, so my grandfather rewarded him in the end with part ownership of the town's hospital. Even though that meant the Wilson brothers would have to deal with each other often afterwards.
Perhaps your grandfather hoped that by sharing that responsibility, your uncle and father would learn to get along better. But that plan didn't work out.
You are right. The longer they had to deal with each other, the more they resented each other. I think a final breakup between them was inevitable. I hope you and your brother James never end up hating each other, Debbie. Family members should always love and support each other, no matter what.
Well, the fact that he was willing to adopt one of those triplets speaks volumes about his nature. He is a good and loving man. He was quite an annoyance as a child, but he was never bad. My mother treated him and me as equals from the start. Sure, you could say that Diana was spoiled and corrupted by her and my mother, but she was still responsible for the choices she made. To steal rich from you, to marry into your family, and to eventually to try to murder you. Our mother didn't force her to do any of those terrible things. But can you honestly say that if you were the older sister you would not have been like Diana? I guess that is something we cannot be certain of. I just know what she did was wrong and that's what matters. Speculation on what could have been is pointless, in my opinion. Is that enough, Mr. Laker?
Yes, thank you for your comments, both of you. I will proceed to edit this footage for the news podcast tonight.